Yo, what up? It's AaroniMoses, and I started to watch a video by Tech9 called "How to End Racism." Tech9 has the answers on how to end racism, and I didn't watch it at all. I watched probably the first idea that he had, and how to end racism. Now you have to understand what racism is. Racism in small doses is healthy. You have to understand that. We have to understand the thoughts that we have and how we relate to each other. There's healthy narcissism, there's healthy racism. Um, just like there's functional junkies, functional alcoholics, things like that. You have to understand that we do have to acknowledge the fact that some races are better at certain things than other races. You have to understand that it is healthy for you to think, if you're Irish, that Irish people do this thing better than everybody else. Italians do this one thing better than everybody else. Black people do this one thing better than everybody else. And I know Irish and Italian technically aren't races, but they are different from the other non-black people. But we have to understand that for you to think that your race does something better than everybody else, that's healthy. What racism is to me, because it is hardwired into our bodies more than anything. It's hardwired into our bodies. It is natural. Because it is so natural, we have to overcome acting on these things. Racism is not a problem. The problem is people having the audacity and the balls to act off of it. That's the issue. People making other people's lives harder because of their beliefs is the issue. I can be racist all day and you would never know it, but when I start to act on it, when I start to do things subconsciously and say things to people subconsciously and not really realize what I'm doing is racist, that's the problem. What we have to do is, yes, integration, making sure that we stick together, making sure that we are exposed to certain things in order for you to not have these thoughts. We have to make sure that we realize what we're doing and how we're coming off. I've had racist bosses. I've had racist even girlfriends. A lot of white women who mess with black people, who only want black boyfriends. Subconsciously, they're doing it out of a racist mentality. You think because I have, certain things that work better for you than your own race or a different race, that's racist. You have these stereotypes in your mind. You're saying I like all black people or black men better than all white people. That's racism. Okay. So number one, I want you to know that racism and acting on it and racist thoughts past a certain level is childish. And when you start making people feel like they're childish and stupid for their thoughts, that's when it stops. For somebody to say, um, a little black kid stole my purple crayon in kindergarten, and I'm in high school now, so I still don't mess with any black people because they're all thieves. That's more something that a child would think. When you have people in the KKK, you have Nazis, you have white supremacists, you have nationalists and separatists. You have to be, you have to have a child's mentality to be racist. You truly do, and that doesn't come from anywhere else. You could say statistics did this to me, and statistics says this, and when you look at these factors, first of all, you can't believe statistics. Because especially in America, statistics are put out to protect white people. Racism comes in when people feel like they are unequal. When people feel like one part of the world has an advantage over another part of the world. This is why we have business. This is why we have money. Because if you have money, when you have something like money, you don't have to be weak. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to have a lot of willpower. All you have to have is money. So the small person who is smart is equal to the big person that has more equipment, that has more technologies, that has more social knowledge and social proof. When you're small and you're smart and you really don't have any of those things, you're small and you're kind of like a trickster, and you can make yourself equal to somebody who's faster than you, stronger than you, even smarter than you, who can survive better than you. Those two parties are going to be equal when you give one money and keep the other one broke. These statistics are out here are to scare certain people from doing certain things, or to convince them that they are somewhere where they're not. And that's what racism does. Racism makes people think that they are equal and unequal. If you call me something that I'm not because somebody else did something that kind of looks like me and I don't know you, I have to have a certain mentality about the world that you might not even know that I have. You might be setting me up to do something that I would never do unless you taught me those words. So firstly, we have to end racism, we have to give everybody the opportunity to realize that everybody's fucking racist. And it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop, but just not acting on it and not teaching children to be racist. Teaching children that he's not like this because of what he looks like or where he's from. He's like that because he's an asshole. Because it's that one person. All the times I wanted to blame a whole race. Some things are cultural. Some things are cultural. Some races get married to their people more than others. You know, some people eat this type of food more than everybody in the world. But basically, everything is a choice. Everything is a script. It's called a social script. It's your choice. Don't blame it on that person's race or their not even their parents. If they're over the age of 16, maybe even 13 in some cases, what they're doing is because they're making these choices. You chose to be programmed. If you don't program yourself, somebody else is going to do it, but there's always going to be a program. If you don't control yourself, somebody else is going to do it, but there's always something is always going to be in control of you, whether it's yourself or everybody else. So as far as people being racist, I look at them like they're idiots. I feel bad for them. I pity them. You think I did something because I'm black? You think, what's up, bro? What's up, black sheep? You think I did something because I'm black? You think I did something because my ancestors are from Africa? How stupid can you be? Now, whether I can sing or dance or run fast or if I have certain skills, that's one thing. But me acting on them is another. I don't steal because I'm black. I don't like white girls, fat white girls because I'm black. I don't rap because I'm black. White people don't call the police on people because they're white. White people don't copy what black people do because they're white. They do it because that's their personality, because they chose to, because whatever's going on in their lives, that's what they wanted to do. Can black people be racist? Racist is when you think your race is superior. That's what racism is. Prejudice is when you think that I'm going to do something, or I did something, or I have done something because of what I look like. Can black people be racist? I understand why people say that, but when you take the true definition, if you think your race is superior, if you think that black people or white people do something better than everybody because of their race, then that is racist. If I think black people rap the best and I don't listen to white rappers, that's racist. If white people think that white people run businesses or raise kids, which is the biggest one. If white people think they raise kids better than black people, that's racist. So yes, black people can be racist. If I think you don't season your food correctly because of your skin color, that's prejudice. That's not racist. I mean, if you take that same thought and you say black people season everything better than white people, that's why I don't like this white person's food. That's racist. But how do we end prejudging and racism, making sure that we realize that people are individuals? It's an ego thing. We're not nobody, a lot of race don't have a beehive mentality. All black people don't think on the same accord. A lot of Asian people more so do that. They all will, if they travel in a group, they all will go shopping, and one might buy something because everybody else is buying something, because they don't want to feel left out. They don't want to be separated. They want to be one whole person. And that's just the culture in China and parts of Japan. But that's not what black people do. We break off, we branch off, we do something differently because everybody's doing the same thing. You're not really gonna catch, everybody. I'm about to go to the mall, bro. I gotta get some shoes. Well, shit, I'm gonna get some shoes too. A lot of us do that, but that's a personal thing. That's culturally, we're taught not to do shit like that. Black sheep, how can we observe the differences in races without being labeled racist? Do I agree that they're biological? How do we observe the differences? It's physical. It's physical. There's the physical differences. Of course, black people are not going to get skin cancer as quick as white people, and black people can tolerate more different temperatures. White people have chlorine in their blood. When you heat chlorine, it cools down, and when you freeze, or when you cool down chlorine, it heats up. That's why when white people are in the cold weather, it feels good to them. It feels better when it's like that. 60 degrees, 62 degrees, you could catch the white people out there just loving it with their hoodies on and their shorts. Hoodie and the shorts and a cup of coffee, a cup of tea or something like that. That's because when you freeze chlorine, it gets warmer. That's not racist at all. It's biological, it's scientific. White people get skin cancer. Bob Marley died of skin cancer because, what they say is because he played soccer on the beach a lot. There's nothing racist about that. He was half white. Are there biological? Yeah, of course there's biological differences. Just being exposed. If you think you're better than somebody, of course, the Mexicans. There's, Canadians probably rock climb better than black people from the desert or from the jungle. And again, those aren't racist, but just being exposed, being open, and just realizing if I'm racist, that's going to cut me off. There's no way to hide racism. There's no way to hide racism. When people want to call me a nigger, I know they want to call me a nigger. I can feel it. When people look at me, when I go in the store and they're smiling, maybe joking, laughing with me, I can still feel you're racist. You don't like that I'm here. You think I have a whole bunch of baby mamas. You think I have a white girl at home. You think I'm taking all her money. You think I drive her car when she's at work and have sex with my baby mama in her car. You think that I have a felony. You think I've been in jail a whole bunch of times. You think I just robbed somebody. That's how I got this money. I robbed somebody so I could buy dope to sell it. You think these things. I can feel that when I talk to anybody. You don't want to make eye contact with me, or when how you shift, you were laughing until I came in the room. I can feel that. Everybody knows that you're a racist, and there's no way to hide it. There's no way to hide it. That's the problem. The questions you ask me when you get to know me, you can't really hide racism, bro. Like, you can't really hide. It's like trying to hide racism is trying to kind of like trying to hide your lust for somebody. If you think you're better than people, you can't really hide that. You can't really hide that. So you have to realize the consequences of racism. People are going to know you're racist. They're going to want to do something to you. They're going to want to prove how much of a child you are to yourself. You're going to feel stupid. And it doesn't really come from anywhere. Like I said, it comes from being bitter. It comes from being scorned. It comes from being hurt. It comes from some little person, some kindergartner took your crayons when you were in kindergarten, and now you hate black people. Some Mexican raped your cousin when you were 6, and now you hate all Mexicans. Or the only time you've been robbed, it's been by black people, and now you're racist. It might have happened more than once, and it might have been very traumatizing more than once. But everybody has done some stuff to me equally, so I can't really hate anybody. Well, white people have mostly been doing things to me. White people first, then second black people, then Mexicans or Hispanics. And I don't have any dislike for the races. I hate everybody equally, for real. Can we go a little bit further on your last thought that hit a nerve? If you think you're better than people, you can't hide that. I mean, if you're racist, if you are superior, all right, put it like this. There's something bigger taking race out of the equation. That's what this. If you think you're better than somebody, you can't hide it. You can't. What do you mean? Like, what exactly? That's what racism is, though. It's thinking that you are superior to somebody based on your genetics, based on your race as a whole. When I do things around other people and I know I'm doing it better, it's just a different energy to it. If we both get in the studio right now, and unless you think you're as good as me and you don't tell me, I'm gonna know it. I'm gonna feel it, and I'm gonna have a different aura about myself. I'm gonna have things are just gonna be different. Now, if you get in the studio with somebody and they're like, "Yo, bro, I suck. I want you to go first." Oh, it's gonna be different. But if you get in doing some Dr. Seuss rhyme, some ABC stuff, and I come in with some complexity, you're gonna know that I think I'm better than you at rapping. I think I'm better than you. I feel like I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you. I'm just not gonna say anything. What's up, Johnny? It's just gonna be we're just gonna have a different experience, and we're gonna feel differently. And you're gonna be either salty or you're gonna admire what I'm doing. But there's no way for me to hide the fact that I feel like I'm better than you. Even if I don't think it, I feel it. I'm like, okay, or even if it's not even that, if I am better than you, if I'm more confident than you, if I use bigger words, better words, my flow's better, my delivery's better, if everything is just better, if it's just different in the best way it can be, there's no way to hide that. Even if we're the same, if you have better delivery than me, better flow, but your wordplay is garbage, my wordplay is good, my delivery is kind of, low energy. If we're on the same, whoever feels better about it is better about it. And if you feel however you feel, everybody else is going to feel that too. Even if you If you feel like you're the shit, but you're not, and you smell like a fucking garbage can, and your hair is all fucked up, teeth's yellow, but you feel confident, if people come and test that, you're not gonna fail. That's another thing. If you feel like you're better, if you think, that's all that matters. So if you're using more, bro, I'm talking about racism. The whole thing about it is you can't hide racism because you feel these things. They start with thoughts, but they end in feelings, and you're just going to give that off. And it's nothing that you can do about that. If you hate black people, or if you hate white people, or if you hate Mexicans, and one of those races walk into your space, you're going to act like you're being fake. Your tone is going to be different. I remember when I moved to Oklahoma with Jimmy and Liz, I was at a wedding. And this lady, she was staring at us with these eyes. She was just like she was staring at us with a lot of hatred. And I was looking at her because I felt it, because I felt somebody was looking at me hard as fuck. So I looked, and she was staring so hard, she didn't even realize I was looking at her motherfucking ass. And I looked at her, and she was staring, and she was like, oh, I'm not racist. I don't like those, you. And I was like, oh. I tapped her, I was like, hey, who's that right there? And she was like, oh, that's my cousin. I was like, oh, that bitch is racist, bro. She was staring at us hard as fuck. And every time I saw her, she kept trying to, hey, oh my God. I was like, nah, bitch. I know what you're thinking right now. You want to kill me? You want to skin me like a fucking cat right now, don't you? You know? I already understand that. Like, you can feel it, bro. What's up, Chris? So if you're using more, I have never had that feeling about any race. Do you get that? I don't know what you just said, bro. Yeah, we're really multicultural here in America too, but the thing is, Americans are Americans aren't stupid. A lot of people think that. We're just easily programmed, and we don't have a lot of, we don't make a lot of good choices. That's different from being stupid. If we were stupid, we wouldn't be the best in the world, and everybody's going to be trying to copy America. So I need you to understand that. But Americans are we live off the media, bro. Our level of socialization is so low. Our level of socialization and adaptation is so fucked up. When you see little kids, when you see people do things off of one of two things in America: the media or their families. And if you don't have family, your family is the media. You're gonna get raised by TV like me. You're gonna be creepy. You're gonna be dumb, and you're gonna be indoctrinated with dumb shit. And racism comes from people taking their childish mentalities into the adulthood and understanding that as the truth. I'm alive. Yeah, I've just been hanging out. I'm about to go through a lot of stuff. I was saying that racists get a feeling that they can't hide because you're thinking it subconsciously. This is why they say people who, if you want to get smarter, if you want to become more intelligent and have more brain activity, you should learn two languages. You should learn two languages. Why? Because if you learn Spanish and English, if you're bilingual, every time you look at something subconsciously, you're going to be thinking that word, that object in two languages. If you go to the bathroom, you're going to think bathroom, baño. Whatever you look at, you're going to think two different words. in a subconscious, and you can never turn that off ever. So when you're racist and you see a black person, if you're racist against black people, you're gonna be thinking nigger constantly. Nigger, nigger, coon, nigger, nigger, nigger. And you can't turn that off unless you just stop hating black people. Can never turn that off. If you learn 2 languages and you see shoes, you're gonna think shoes and whatever, however you say shoe in that language. I don't know any other languages how to say shoe. But it's the subconscious. Your brain and your heart puts out energy. Your aura comes from your mental state and your heart. If you feel in your heart that white people are better than Mexicans, and a Mexican walks in, a Mexican's gonna know you don't like Mexicans. You could smile. You could be smiling with your eyes. You could you could be hospitable, ask them if they want seconds. When they go to dinner, you can't hide it. Unless that person is just doesn't know about anything, even if they didn't even know racism existed, they would know it from your energy, from you feeling like that. Because it's subconscious, bro, because not everybody has this knowledge. When they think the word, but their subconscious mind doesn't think, bro. It just happens. It's automatic. You can't turn it off. Your brain never goes to sleep. Your brain and your heart never go to sleep, bro. People learn languages and they dream in both languages. That doesn't even make sense. So, yeah, man. How to end racism? Exposure. Racism is a disease, bro. It's like a mental illness almost. Although it's very natural, it is still you being impacted so you're traumatized, and then you're bringing that shit to other people. Then you're gonna treat them a certain way. Bro. It's subconscious. When you look at, I don't know how to say anything else. I don't know any languages, bro. When you observe your life, when you observe your life, you're not always thinking tree. Oh, that's a tree. This is the mouth. That's a pack of cigarettes. This. You're not thinking that all the time. When you reach for a doorknob and when you turn it, you're thinking doorknob. Your mind is processing things constantly, and you're doing it in all the languages that you know subconsciously. When you put your shoe on, you're like, one foot in the shoe, tie my shoe. You're not thinking that, but those thoughts are there. It's the difference. Okay, so how you process things, because the human brain only has the average human only has I think 100,000 thoughts a day in 24 hours. If you did think, because they're not actual thoughts, they're just processes. It's just how your mind is seeing the world. It's how you're making sense of things. So when you make sense of things, when you process things, they're in all the languages that you know. So yeah, that's it, man. So I mean, you have to change. You have to get people exposed. You have to make people feel stupid and childish, and make people realize what racism is. Make people realize what healthy racism is, and help people realize that if you're racist, that's pretty much admitting that somebody's better than you, and you have to use this as a defense mechanism, just like money, just like business. Racism is just like money and business. Like my dad will think the Greek numbers of adding in his head, but it was his first language. That's cool. You disagree? I mean, facts and opinion, there's two different things, bro. I want you to look it up. If they're conscious, the difference between subconscious thoughts and conscious thoughts, bro, just how you're processing the information. When you go to pick something up, you're not unless you think like that, unless you're like a genius or something and you constantly think about the things that you see. If you look at the TV, like there's a TV sitting right here. If you look at it, you're not going to think TV. My hands, you don't think that. If you're adding numbers and you consciously go to that number system, that's different. That makes sense. But when you look at the charger for your phone, you're not saying charger, whatever. But financialism, classism, no, it's not. It's really not. When you think about it, that's how the media works in America, bro. It's like they program black women, poor people, poor women, to think that white women are the best because they are the most closely equal to white men who rule the world. So these advertisements, these commercials, things like that, these TV shows, they make it seem like if you have money or if you look like a white woman, you're going to be almost as powerful to the white man. This is what happens. This is why people are dying every day, because they're trying to be equal to a white man. And when these women put their hair, how they put it, when they dress, even me, even how I speak like this because subconsciously I was programmed to speak how the white man might find it more, the most respectable or the most whatever. Me speaking how I speak is more powerful than somebody who has an accent, somebody who has a brown person accent, whether that be a Mexican or whether they be from the south side of Chicago or whether they be from Harlem or the north side of Houston or Memphis, Atlanta. Me, I would have more power in the world than somebody with a brown person's accent, whether they be Middle Eastern or Mexican or from the hood somewhere. That's just how it is. That's what advertisements are for. Advertisements, marketing, a lot of media is basically subconsciously trying to tell you how to be as powerful as the white man, how to be seen as equal to the white man or close, even though you might not look like that and you're not the same gender. But that's what it really is. That's why things get fucked up. This is why black women wear that relaxer shit and weave and dress how they do and do a lot of things. When they sexualize black women and make black women into sexual objects, guess what everybody else does? Everybody's just trying to fit in somewhere. And that's what racism and classism creates. How are we going to be equal to the white man? How are we going to be equal to this guy, to this person? That's what it is. That's what it's all about. That's what the Asians did. Asians used to wear their traditional clothing and have long hair, long beards, ponytails, walk around with no shoes. But then the white man kept saying, look, bro, that's not how we do things. If you want to do business with us, you're going to have to put on a suit and chop their hair off, Kung Pao. And they did it. They did it. But, I mean, it's just not letting anybody. I can see why they built that Great Wall. It wasn't that fucking great, but I could see why they did it. They really didn't need to, but yeah, that's what it is. Classism and racism, separating people, being scared, being weak, not going with nature. Because if nature had its way, a lot of things wouldn't exist right now. And they would never come back. Or maybe they would. Who knows? But all of this, I was going against nature. Nature is not racist. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if that statement was true or not. Edward Bernays. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. He invented what I'm saying about advertisement and propaganda. Bro, nobody invented that shit. That's just natural. It's natural. It's just not just like laws, bro. Everybody's gonna try to chase the power. That's what the definition of success is to me. Power. People ask me that all the time. Power. Being able to control yourself, your environment. Everybody if you think about the word power, cells need electricity. Cells pretty much eat electricity. And when you think of electricity, you think power. Your power bill. That's what we call it in America. Your power bill. Your light bill. Usually people say light bill, but you know. The power when the lights go off, they say the power went off. So it's just that's normal for somebody to make that into a concept and to write it on paper. You know what I mean? Nah, I haven't, bro. For somebody to record it, yeah, he was probably the first person to record it and to recognize it as literature and as game, but that's another thing, bro. So I'm gonna go. I really enjoyed this discussion. I don't think I gave you the clear answer on how to end racism, embracing it as something healthy, normal, and natural, but not letting it go too far, keeping that balance, knowing that if you're white, yeah, your race does hella shit better than black people. If you're black, yes, your race does hella shit better than white people. If you're Asian, there's only 3 races. Everybody else is a fucking mutant. If you're Asian, you do a lot of shit better than black people and white people, but there's a lot of shit black people and white people do better than you if you're Asian. You have to realize that. You have to realize that. Realize that everybody's gonna be better than something at something than you because of their race. That's facts. That's just facts. But don't let that make you salty and stop acting like a little fucking kid about that shit. Just accept it. Females do shit better than men. Men do shit better than females. The races are not created equal. They're equal, but it's not for the same reasons. And that's not a bad thing. That's just how the universe works, bro. Oak trees are better than fucking evergreens at something. For some things, you can't build this with this, you know. Earth is better than fucking water is better than fire for a lot of shit. Fire is better than water for a lot of shit. That's just simple, but they're equal though. They're equal and they're just as important. Blacks are better than at physical stuff, singing and dancing. I don't know. Not again, but not everything though. Not everything physical, and not all singing, and not all dancing. It's simple, bro. That's just how it is. But whites are better at other stuff, and Asians too. Yeah, I just said that. Asians are better than something better than black people just because they're Asian. Asians are better than white people at something because they're Asian. White people are better than things than black people because they're white. We have to realize those things. And it's not a bad thing. That's why we're all here on the earth together. That's where we're all here together. Our lifespans can be the same. I don't think white people, I don't think anybody outlives anybody. It's just how we live our lives. Our culture is what determines pretty much everything. But number one, we have to realize that culture, not your nation, your culture, your diet, your lifestyle. That's pretty much what determines a lot of things, everything almost. After that, we just have to realize that people are not their people's motivations and people's actions are not based on their 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 race. People don't do things because they're black. People do things because of how they were taught, where they come from, and their lifestyle and their class. People do things off of their class and off of their choices, just them, their personalities. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. Not everybody wants to be different. That's what it is. That's really what it is. Because a lot of people want to be the same. A lot of people don't want to be different. But some people do want to be different. And the fact that when you look at it, some cultures teach you to not be different. Some cultures teach you to be the exact fucking same. So when you see other people that don't want to be different, that don't want to be the same, and you're like, oh, well, in my family, everybody does things the same because that's just how my family is. But when you see somebody else doing it, you're like, okay, well, that whole family must do that. And then you see other people that look like that doing that, well, you're like, this whole race must do that. But we have to realize that everybody is not. Everybody's different. Even if they feel like they want to be the same as everybody, they really don't have a choice. You can't be the same as everybody. Stop trying. That's never gonna work. You're always gonna fail. Every day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna fail. And you're gonna go to sleep. Then you're gonna die. Then you're gonna fail some more in your next life if you have that same mentality. We all have to be different, but we all have to be treated the same. No, I think that's a bad thing too. That's why the American judicial system is based off of the most important aspect of the American judicial system is discretion. That's the biggest word in the American judicial system. Now you have some places like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. Somewhere like Idaho, I don't know, Idaho, or we'll say Minnesota. In Minnesota, look, Illinois. In Illinois, if you get caught with if you catch a murder charge, the minimum is 1 year probation. That's the minimum for a murder charge. The maximum is life. The rest of your life in prison. You die in prison. Every day. All right. In Georgia, the minimum for a murder is life. It's a mandatory life. If you kill somebody in Georgia and you get found guilty, you can never get out of prison, ever. There's no discretion in Georgia. If you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, Latino, if you kill somebody in Georgia, you're going to prison for the rest of your life. In Illinois, a black person can get 100 years, and a white person can get 1 year probation for murder, because that's the minimum. Now, in that same scenario, in Georgia, if you have a really good lawyer, they can say it was self-defense. They could say it's manslaughter, which manslaughter, the minimum for manslaughter is like 90 days in prison. 90 days for manslaughter. They could say it was manslaughter 2. They could say it was self-defense or manslaughter. Doesn't have to be a murder. When you take that into account, you have to realize that Not everybody should be getting life for a murder. Not everybody who does the same crimes should be treated equally. Just like fucking females are like, females get convicted like 25%. 75% less than men. Not convicted. They don't get jail time in America. If me and my girlfriend do this, I don't have a girlfriend, but if I did, if me and my girlfriend did the same crime, she would get probation and I would go to jail. Especially if it was like a theft or something like that, because of course they would think I coerced her into doing this fucking crime. Now, if me and my white friend, and he was a male, did the same crime together, or separately, let's say separately, he might get like 30 days and I might get like 90 days. If we have the same record, or we both, this is our first case ever. The death penalty, hey man, the American judicial system. Hey bro, that's how it is, because there's a lot of crazy people over there. I don't agree with it, but it's not the judicial. It is the judicial system. It's just America. People think America's sweet, bro. It's really not. There's places in America that can be easily compared to third world countries, bro. So there's places in America that are just as bad as places in India and in Mexico and the Middle East. And I know there's parts of Europe that are considered third world, but their judicial system's not as harsh. But people over here are fucking crazy. They're very violent. America is very violent. There's a lot of rape. 1 million women get raped every year in America. There's like one rape every 15 seconds. There's like a house gets broken into every 30 seconds. There's a lot of people here, bro. There's a lot of people. I think we have, I don't want to put that out there, but there's a lot of madness in America. The American economy is not as good as you think. So prison is separate plantations. Prison is separate plantations, bro. So when you look at, you can't see this house, but I think they said 70% of the things that you see in your home in America are made in prison. We have metal chairs, car parts, parts for TVs, cell phone parts, glasses. I think I already said license plates, fucking lighters. 70% of the things that you see around us in America are made from prisoners. In the South, they make the fucking prisoners work on farms and dig holes for crops, water the crops. They have this thing called work release, where if you go to prison, they let you out for like 10 hours a day so you can work in the world. So you could work at McDonald's, you could work at a car wash, you could be things like that. But then guess how much they pay you? They pay you 15 cents an hour. You make about $200 a month doing all this shit. From fucking 8 o'clock to 2:30 in the morning. 15 cents an hour. No more. Nah, bro. Mm-mm. That box you see right there, they probably made that in prison. And there's little stuff. It's like doorknobs, bro. Beer cans. Like that lamp. Like everything. And you can tell. You can tell a little bit because you're like, they either made this in China, Mexico, India, or prison. And most likely is prison. People say we shouldn't be doing business with China. Yeah, we should. Because if we do business with China, then so many people won't have to go to jail. That's why they lock up black people, like you said. Like what you think about black people. We don't have to eat as much as white people, and we could stay up longer. And if you take the sun away, we get sicker. But we have to do something. That's why black people, and a lot of black people, they diagnose black people in the 80s and 90s a lot with ADHD. So now they think that, oh, I'm ADHD. I have a lot of energy. If you don't tell somebody they're not ADHD, they're not gonna have as much energy, bro. Envelope everything, bro. No, I never heard that before, bro. Pretty much everything. A lot of shit. Prison prison, and you know how they call it the war on drugs? It wasn't a war on drugs until black people started making money off of it. And who gave us the drugs? The president, right? War is is big business. War stimulates the economy. That's how we got out. That's how we got out the Great Depression, World War II. War generates money. So that should have been a signal to people, oh shit, he called it the war on drugs. They're about to make some money. Little did they know, these laws are going to start locking people up so they can make the money. We're not going to make money. They're going to make money. They're going to make billions of dollars and only have to put out so much a day. And you get somebody to make, you get these prisons. Why do you think they keep building more? They don't care. It's a business, bro. They don't care. I don't know. I heard weed was like a felony in Australia or some shit, bro. I don't know. I don't see like weed. Australia is probably like the best part of the world to grow weed. One of the best. That's the thing about weed. You can grow it anywhere. You can grow it anywhere in the world. But I don't know, bro. That's you guys. I don't know. Sucks. I don't even smoke weed. That's what sucks. People stopped smoking weed when weed became legal, except in Colorado. People stop smoking weed and they just move where the weed's legal. But it's like, I think it's not that many states. I think it's like Oregon, Washington, Cali, Colorado, Maine, Michigan, I think New York. Nowhere, I don't think it's anywhere in the South where weed's legal. Illinois, I'm tripping. That's it. That's only 8 states, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Nevada. That's only like a quarter of the country. It's not even a quarter. It's not that many states, honestly. People just move where the weed's legal or, keep going to jail. And then Canada, all of Canada's legal. I stopped because we had random drug tests, like Booze Plus. That sucks, bro. When you drive, oh, they make you like a breathalyzer stop. Yeah, like a DUI stop. They do. They have breathalyzers for weed now. I don't even think that's legal because you can hit the weed but not inhale it, which nobody does that except for Bill Clinton apparently. But anyways, man, I'm not even talking about anything that is relevant to the title anymore. They make you lick. Oh, yeah, the mouth swabs. Right. Yeah, I hate that shit. Somebody said you could just, I wouldn't do this, but you could just put bleach, a drop of bleach in water and rinse your mouth out and brush your teeth. I would never advise anybody to do that though, bro. Fuck, no. I did surgery on myself with bleach. Don't ever do that either. But look, I'm going to tell you this story real quick and I'm going to shut this down. So I had a cyst under my tongue, and I don't know if you know what a cyst is, but it's pretty much like it's like a hard little fucking thing, bro. It's like calcium or some shit's built up. It's like tissue. All right, so I had a cyst under my tongue, and it was like in that little sac under your tongue in the back, and I kept playing with it, and it just hurt, and I like start having spasms like all right here and in my tongue and shit. And I lifted my tongue up and saw it, and I was like, damn, this shit, I gotta get this shit out. And I think I spilled, I don't know how I thought to do this shit. I spilled bleach on me or something, but whatever the case was, I got a cap of bleach, right? And I took a needle, and I kept dipping the needle in the bleach and scraping this little where it was with the bleach, and it was burning a hole through my fucking skin under my tongue, bro. And I just kept dipping it, and I kept scraping it, dipping it, scraping it, and then I squeezed, and then it just popped out. And I was like, ugh, it was bleeding and shit. And if I lift up my tongue right now, that hole it never healed. The hole's still fucking there. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm not that good of a storyteller. But I told you the story anyway. I try to prevent myself from telling stories. But how long ago? I was in middle school. That was like 15 years ago. That was when I was like 12. Something like that. Yeah. It should have healed. Nah, I didn't. Actually, I haven't looked at it in a couple of years. I don't really like. Yeah. I squeezed. It popped out. I made the hole big enough to just squeeze the back of it, and it just popped out. And I was looking at it like, It looked like a little. It just looked like a little white ball. Yeah. Because, bro, I skateboarded at that time, and my mom told me that I need to stop skateboarding because I kept going to the hospital, and I guess I didn't have health insurance for like 3 years or some shit like that. Yeah, I didn't have health insurance till I got to high school. Wait, no. I think my health insurance got cut off twice. Yeah, because in middle school I kept hurting myself. I went to the hospital like 3 times that year, and then I went to the hospital. I remember I almost died because I had pneumonia, and I didn't have health insurance. And I stayed home for a week, and I was just drinking a lot of Robitussin and drinking tea and smoking. I probably shouldn't have been smoking weed, but that's how I got fucking pneumonia, smoking weed. Any fucking way. That's a whole different story. I don't want, no, weed doesn't give you pneumonia. I don't want anybody to think that, but I just did something stupid. Doctors are free, but you guys can't smoke weed. If I just wanted to start smoking weed again randomly, I'd be fucked if I lived in Australia. But I'd rather have a free doctor than legal weed. You need to move to Canada. They got free doctors and fucking legal weed. I might just live there. Shit. You can't. If it's illegal, you can't. Without going to jail, I'd rather be sober than be in jail, bro. Kind of. But how much is health insurance? I mean, it can be free if you're poor as shit. But like, if you're poor, you could pay like $20 for okay health insurance, and then some people pay like $100 a month, 120. Oh, how much is for health insurance? Oh yeah, it's like 100. But then you still got to pay for the fucking procedures. You still have to pay for the medicine and shit. Like the medicine might be like $6 or some shit like that. $6 to like $20 if you have health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, you got to pay the full price. Usually, for like my hand, for that surgery, Damn, that shit looks like some Frankenstein shit. Ew. But like my hand, that surgery would have been like $4,000, or like $6,000. If I had health insurance, I think it would have been like $1,000. Bro, I haven't had health insurance my whole adult life because I don't give a fuck, and I don't do shit because it's insurance, bro. I haven't gotten like deathly. I got deathly ill probably once in my adult life when I got swine flu when I was in jail, but they almost let me die any fucking way. I had to just drink water and just meditate. Weed here is like, yeah, it's 200 an ounce American. In California, that's just like, I think it's like $15 for an eighth, some shit like that, some crazy shit. Here in Illinois, it's $20 an eighth. That's $160 for an ounce though, so something like that. You have a card that makes every medicine $6. That's awesome. If you need an operation, bro, they can't just let you die if it's life or death. This shit is more or less cosmetic. So no, they're not just gonna. If you break your nose, you broke your nose. You know, when a rich person breaks their nose, you can't really tell that they've ever gotten their nose broken because they go to some good ass doctors and have good ass. I mean, your health insurance doesn't cover cosmetic surgeries usually. This is not cosmetic. This is functional. This is functionality. Now this is bitch ass. And if you would have fixed my hand, a part of my hand's numb. Part of my finger and my knuckle has no feeling in it. Now, if he would have fixed it, if I would have had good health insurance, he would have connected my nerves. Now, the doctors and the dentists out here, if you don't have health insurance, they treat you like shit. Even if it's life or death, they treat you like shit. They don't give a fuck. He was like, yeah, so when I fix your hand and I go in there, man, I could connect the nerves, but if it's just too many, I'm just not going to see. You know, I might do it, I might not do it. And I was like, you're a piece of shit, bro. Because I'm going to have this shit I'm going to have to pay this motherfucking health insurance bill, bro. I'm going to have to pay this medical bill. I'm going to pay more than a normal person would because I don't have motherfucking health insurance. You're going to get your motherfucking money, bro. The government is going to pay you. I have a job. I pay taxes. I just don't have health insurance. I'm going to have to pay this goddamn medical bill. So just treat me like a normal motherfucking customer, bro. You're not a patient. You're a customer to these bitch ass people, bro. Damn. They bill you, and if you don't pay it, your credit's going to be fucked up, and you can't rent a car, and you can't rent an apartment, and you can't buy a house, and you can't get a credit card, and you can't do shit, and you can't get a good job. That's how they make you pay, because they take your life away. They fuck your credit up if you don't pay that shit. Dentist, if you don't have money, you don't go to a dentist out here. But legally, if it's life or death, they have to do the surgery and they have to treat you. Just like if you watch an interviewer named BJ Small's Eyes, this dude said they put him in a chemically induced coma for 52 days when he got shot. His medical bill was $1.3 million because he was in the hospital for 3 months. 52 days he was asleep. He got shot in both of his arms and his chest. I think he got shot both of his arms and his chest. They put him in a chemically induced coma for 52 days. They fucked up his pancreas when he was in the coma. They kept doing surgeries on him like every other fucking day. But shit, stuff like that, they have to. They have to operate on you. But when it's like, if you broke your arm or something like that, they don't have to do shit. They had to give me stitches, or my shit would have got infected, and I could have lost my hand. The fucking doctor said I could have lost my fucking hand. Notorious B.I.G. Bro, DJ Smalls. If you go on YouTube, well, you're already on YouTube. Type in DJ Smalls Eyes, $1.3 million, and you could watch the whole thing. He's a DJ, bro. He's an interviewer. He did the Southern Smoke mixtapes, that's a big deal. But I don't know the guy's name. He interviews a lot of fucking like underground rappers. He's some guy. Yeah, bro. I'm about to get back. I'm about to go live again, like right now. But check the mixtape out. A lot of the band gangers requested that I do that mixtape. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a drill rapper. None of that. I just wanted to do it, and it went pretty well, I think. But bro, thanks for watching and having this conversation with me. It was very interesting. If Australia wasn't an island and it wasn't fucking like so far away, I would definitely stop by. I mean, stop by. Like, it's not like it's closed. So I hear a lot of good things about Australia, and there's a lot of dope people that I talk to from Australia. Like if you saw Chris in the chat, she's from Australia. Nah, bro, America. America, maybe Canada. Canada doesn't let everybody in. They check your record at the border. They tell you how many times you've been arrested before you go to Canada. I've never been to Canada, but I've heard a lot of people say that. My ex has been to Australia. She said it was dope. There's a lot of Middle Easterners there. So I know you guys are doing pretty well. All the nurses, all the Middle Eastern girls want to be nurses and doctors and lawyers. I was thinking of going to Canada and then crossing the border, so if they send me back, I won't be so far. Bro, that's illegal. That's illegal, my guy. And you can get your British passport because of your mom. That's what's up, bro. I wanted to go to England for a very long time, ever since I was a little kid, ever since I was like 8. I've been trying to get to England, bro. Well, you didn't say England, but wait. Yeah, I'm sorry. Brain fart. But yeah, bro, I gotta go. I'm about to be back on here real quick. You never left the island. Sad, man. Sad. I've never been anywhere but America myself. And I've only been to like 4, maybe 8 states. I've been to Arizona, which if you're from Australia, you're probably like Arizona. I don't know how hot it gets in Australia, but Arizona, I've been to Florida, Georgia, Texas. I've been to Alabama, Indiana, New York. I've been to Washington, D.C., which is not a state. And I've been to West Virginia, South Carolina, Illinois, Minnesota. That's it. Ohio, I think. That's like 12 states. That's pretty good. Pretty good. But you're in Melbourne? Ah, bro. Have you seen that show? Hold up. I'm about to look it up. You gotta watch that shit. That shit's badass. Hold on, I'm about to look it up. I wish I had my phone in here. It's called Underbelly Razor. You gotta watch that shit, bro. If you're from Australia, you probably know about the Razor Gang. You gotta watch that shit, bro. It's badass. That first episode is a shocker. That shit's badass though. It's a Netflix show, but you can find it on Tubit.com. Tubi no Tubit.com. Tubit. That shit is badass, bro. Hell nah. Something just told me I was watching all these trailers on YouTube trying to find a new show. That shit was bad. Yeah. See, Australia's different because if the two ladies in Underbelly Razor, they're making all this cash, and in America, they would have just let them slide, bro. They would have just as long as they were spending money, they would have let them slide. But both of those ladies died in poverty in Australia because Australia's with that shit. America, they would have just let them go, bro. America's corrupt as a motherfucker, bro. They don't give a fuck. As long as they were circulating that money, as long as they kept buying all them cars and all that jewelry and stuff, and they would have made them come up with some kind of tax or made them pay like $1 million, something ridiculous, something like, bro, this chick is making like $20 million a year, and they would have probably made them pay like $2 million in fines, made them do like maybe 5 years in prison, but they would have let them keep their money, bro. They don't in America. If you're making a certain amount of money, they let you keep that shit. They let you keep it, and they just tax you and make you pay fines and shit. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, bro. I want to move out of this country because this shit's not good. I can't be in Australia because it's the biggest island in the world, but it's too remote. That's too remote. If anything happens in Australia, I'm stuck. If anything happens in America, I can go to Mexico. I can go to Canada. I can go to Brazil. You know, fuck that. Chopper Reed. He's from where I'm from. Yeah, that's what's up. Chopper Reed. That sounds like a badass rap name. I feel you, bro. I feel you. But I definitely have to go, man. I definitely got to go. I want to knock. I don't even want to do this. This shit was supposed to be like 20 minutes. This happens every time. But yeah, man. Hit me up on some social media. I think you already have me on Facebook. But that's it, man. I'm the band, you the band, we the band together, man. Peace.